It's going to be above 60 degrees today, so let's do some testing of some irons. So stay tuned and see which ones we did. Welcome back to the McGolf shop, and it's going to be super nice today, so it's about time we got outside and actually tested some clubs in real life conditions instead of 20-degree weather and 40-degree weather. It's supposed to be mid-60s today, and we're going to test the Callaway Steelhead versus the Big Bertha versus the Apex in their stock offerings. So let's go take a look. So did you ever get through one of those sessions when you're doing one of these videos? And so I'm going through this session in doing the videos, and I completely did not record the one important thing I wanted to show you. So what did we actually test? We tested the Big Bertha. They're all 7 irons. The Big Bertha, it is a hollow bodied iron, has a modicum of offset, and what it has is the exo cage that helps support the really thin face. It also has the recoil shaft. It's the 460 and the F4, which is the stiff. Then we had the Steelhead, which is the very popular club right now, and it has like a medium offset, not as much sole as the Big Bertha has, and it still has the 360 cup face on there, and you saw that on the last review if you want to see the cutaway of it. And this one came away with the Ozic Program F15. Right, in the stiff flex. And then finally but not least is the Apex, the Players Club, with just about as much offset, a little wider sole than you would think in a Players Club, but actually it's very forgiving. The deep cavity in this one, right, it's, if you look at it cut this way, there's a piece of steel that runs through there. And it has the Fubuki in the stiff flex as well. Just wanted to let you see what those were. They're all in about the 60 to 65 gram shaft weight category, and they're all standard length 7 irons, and that way you knew what we were hitting. Now I also looked at my acceleration profiles. That's not something I'm going to put up here, but what it seems is that I may have liked the Fubuki shaft or the recoil shaft, and not necessarily the matrix shaft. So if I get the right shaft maybe into the Apex, I squeak out a little bit more out of it. And the same thing being on the Bertha. So might have to try that one as well. And this time I'm actually recording it. So alright, so the Apex 151 to 160, that was the shortest. 167.5 to 179.8 was the average, and my longest was 183.5 to 199. That's with a swing speed of 91.7 and an average grouping of 3.3 to the left. Now the grouping average is kind of a misnomer, because you could be very, very tight in all of them and spray one to the left or to the right, and everything will shift that direction because of one really big shot. The Steelhead, I had a 90.4 mile-an-hour swing speed on average, with my shortest being 154 and carried at 163, the longest being 183 and went out to 201.3, with my average of 173.4 and 189.3, and I was 2.6 to the left. So now mind you, that slight fade is what that is, and I'm okay with that. Big Bertha had a 93 mile-an-hour swing speed. The reason why I'm talking about this one, you see a lot of the propaganda now, is Callaway said Big Bertha was the only one to get a rating of 20 on that Golf Digest. So I really wanted to see what it was all about. So 93 mile-an-hour swing speed, 7.3 degrees to the right. I actually was pulling on this. I think it was because the shaft was a little lighter. My shortest one was 155.6 to 166.4. with my longest being 183.6 and 202.3 being the carry or the distance, with the average of 173.7 and 186.6. Now the smash factors is a little bit higher on the Steelhead. I got in the better part of the face, but I was all within 0.03 of each other, so that's approximately about the same. So just depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for your pure distance, and keep in mind that the Steelhead and the Bertha are very similar in their loft, where the Apex is a little bit weaker. Okay, so I expect that the Apex would be just a slight bit shorter, and it's just a matter of where you need to be in your game for that. So consistency, length, feel, and how does it look to you? Those are some very important things. So take a look at some, make sure you go back and take a look at some of those pictures and see what you think. Tell me what you prefer. Is it consistency in the middle of the fairway, or is it length, just bombing the snot out of it, or do you want some control? Let me know down below. And let's see your scores go low. And tell me what you would prefer. Is it distance or is it length? Duh.